So yesterday I watched a video clip where Boosie mentioned he just bought 40 acres of land for $250,000 from a couple that paid $1 million for it. They were getting a divorce. He stepped in, and now he's building a 22,000 square foot mansion on this property that's going to be worth upwards of $50 million. He said his total investment for the entire thing is going to be about $3 million, but the valuation afterwards is going to be $50 million. That's not just a flex. That's one of the smartest real estate plays I've seen from a celebrity real estate.
That's what niggas say, man. Yeah, I don't know about
investor
that.
In a long time. Now, obviously, there's a couple of other.
He bought it for 40 acres for $250,000. It's a good deal. And he said that the couple bought it for $1 million. This is screaming red flags.
Is that made some really good decisions when it comes to real estate. But I wanted to highlight this particular situation because it ties in to what we do as real estate investors on a daily basis. Boosie looked for motivation. That's what he bought, not the property. And I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. Before we jump into it, let me give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Baselane. And as you can see, easier bank in their going street records and service is smart for celebrity content. Now look, as I've mentioned, I really want to dig into the smart play that Boosie made, but what I want to highlight is the simple fact that you don't need to be a rapper or a celebrity to make these kind of plays. Us real estate investors do this every single day. What we're looking for is a problem that we can solve. Once you can identify a problem, you can make a profit by helping somebody out of their situation. This is exactly what Boosie did. He found a problem and he offered a solution to the problem, a quick solution that allowed the couple that was getting a divorce to get out of their situation immediately. And in turn, he was able to create a deal which will possibly net him $47 million. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and run the clip.
Yeah, it's not a mansion. It's a estate. I'm in my mansion right now.
Okay, but you moving to your...
How old is this? Is this recent? I don't know. Them chains just give like... He might be on some light shit though. I fuck with
it. Not a mansion. It's a estate. I'm in my mansion right now.
Okay, but you moving to your estate?
Yeah, I'm moving to my estate in a couple months.
Okay. How many square feet is your estate? Do you mind telling me?
It's 22,000 square feet.
22,000 square feet on 40 acres.
Yeah.
In Atlanta?
Outskirts of Atlanta, country, like the country, about 45 minutes outside Atlanta.
I mean, what are we talking about here? 10 million, 15 million here? Something like that?
Nah, basically I got a steal on it, man. I got the acres. I caught somebody going through a divorce. Man, and they bought the land for like $1 million. I gave him $250,000 cash.
That shit just don't... Divorce or not, I need my money. Quarter M ain't gonna... Oh, that just don't sound right.
I put like $2.7 million in the building the home on top of it. So I came out with a lick, once it's built, you talking about a $50 million property.
So he bought 40 acres for $250,000. He built a house, a 22,000 square foot house for what, 2.3 million? Is what he said, or 2.7, 1.7, whatever the hell. The other difference up to 3 million. And the house is gonna be worth 50 million, the property. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, for $3 million.
Yeah.
That's tough.
My man. I love it.
All right, so let's talk about this deal. You got a couple doing well together. They buy 40 acres of land for $1 million. Somewhere in their marriage, things go bad, divorce hits. Usually when that happens, people want closure more than they want cash. And that's where Boosie steps in and offers them $250,000 to get.
You could definitely catch people like that. You know what I'm saying? In situations like that, it's not necessarily taking advantage of them, but $250,000 and they bought it for $1 million is you talk about, what is that? What's the percentage difference of that, nigga?
Get out of their problem.
Damn.
So he offered the closure in exchange for the property. They just wanted to get away from each other. So what did Boosie do under these circumstances that you, as an ordinary person, a non-celebrity, a non-athlete, none of that? What did Boosie do that you can copy and that we as real estate investors do every single day? We find problems that we can solve. When we can solve problems, we can get discounted real estate, and in exchange, we can offer closure or a solution to someone else's problem and get paid for it. That's what we do as real estate investors. This is how you get bargains on pretty much anything in life.
Yeah,
that's what we
facts.
call buying motivation, not property. Again, Boosie didn't buy somebody's dirt. He bought somebody's problem. He offered
The sellers had a motivation to sell, is what he's saying with the motivation.
a solution to a situation that they were going through, and he offered closure for them. Again, that's the same strategy.
Yeah, most definitely. These numbers just don't add up to me, bro. They just scream red flags to me. I ain't hating on Boosie. Shit, I hope this is really the case, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I hope this is really the case, but it just sounds too good to be true. You know what I'm saying?
Strategy that wholesalers, creative
said
investors,
50 million.
and land buyers use every single day to get really deep discounted deals. Now, here's a couple of reasons why this was such a good deal. Number one, land is leverage. So if we do the math here, Boosie paid $6,250 per acre for that property. So if you take
Good.
40
It's
acres
good
and
as
you
fuck.
divide it by $250,000, it equals about $6,250 per lot. That is dirt cheap land.
Right.
Again, discounted property because he found a problem and he saw the opportunity in the situation. Most people can't find a quarter acre lot for that much money. Number
Man.
two, forced appreciation. So he's putting a 22,000 square foot structure on his property. And even if he spends $2.7 million building this property, it's going to instantly multiply the property's value because of the scale and the amenities.
Yeah,
And
but up to 40 million, it's only worth whatever the house is gonna sell for. The land is worth. He said, well, okay, we could say the land is probably worth $1 million. You're putting a $2.7 million house. We could round up and say that's $4 million. That's what you built the house for. The house is that shit is not appraising over 10 million, bro. Definitely not 20 million. Let's just be real, bro. This ain't no hate to Boosie. Let's just be real, though.
property, it's going to instantly multiply the property's value because of the scale and the amenities. And number three, legacy equity. Now, we talk about building generational wealth. We talk about legacy and things like that all of the time. This is a prime example of legacy equity.
So is this the same property that he's building these houses on, or is this something different? That's why I want to know how new that clip was.
So he's not
How old
flipping
it
this
was.
property for quick profit. What is he doing? He's holding on to the property.
he gonna live
he's
in it.
building the property up, and he's creating a family estate. You heard him say that he lives in a mansion. This is going
So this is the property that he's probably already been working on. That's probably what this is.
to be
This
his
video was posted 3 weeks ago.
estate. That'll be worth 30 to $50 million for generations. So what's the legacy?
Yeah, if you build multiple houses on it, you know, he didn't, in that clip, he wasn't necessarily saying that, and that's not really what you're getting at neither.
Lesson here. Don't
We're thinking about 22,000 square foot house right now.
chase quick
Or is that going to be all together?
flips. Chase undervalued opportunity.
Because you could build this big ass mansion, but is it worth that? Who is it custom built? What's the real value of it though? You know, like you might have built some overly big structure that no one wants, like Michael Jordan's house.
So what's the lesson here? Don't chase quick flips. Chase undervalued opportunity, especially when somebody's motivated to sell. And this is
Right,
the same
yep.
concept I teach my students inside the Deal Pro Academy. You make money when you buy, not when you sell. And the longer you own a property, the more money you'll make on the property. The moment you sell that property, it's the moment you start losing money on that particular property. Boosie didn't wait for the perfect market. He waited for a motivated
I mean, you always lose money on it if you're not making money off of it though. You know what I'm saying? If Boosie lives in that property and there's no money making, he ain't making no money off of it. I think he talk about this shit that he's currently working on and been building on. In that case, it's got multiple houses on it, and therefore it is an asset. But a house can definitely be a liability if it's your primary residence. Most definitely.
On that particular property. Boosie didn't wait for the perfect market. He waited for a motivated seller. That's what happens in divorces, estate sales, probate cases, foreclosures, and even when landlords are tired of dealing with the tenants. If you can find the motivation, you can find the margin. Now, you might be thinking, I ain't got $250,000 laying around. And the good news is you don't need $250,000 to make it happen. You can do the same exact thing on a smaller scale. Search sites like LandWatch, Facebook Marketplace, or even some of the auction sites for opportunities that fit within your criteria. Sometimes you can find land for as little as $20,000 or less. Sometimes it depends on the situation and the location of the property. Notice Boosie, he's buying in the Atlanta area, but the property is located about an hour outside of Atlanta. So he's not buying in the major metropolitan area. I tell people this all the time. Focus on secondary and tertiary markets. Boosie is more than likely in a secondary or tertiary market, being an hour outside of the Atlanta area. So if you can focus on properties in those secondary and tertiary types of markets, you'll find much better deals. And within these markets, you want to look for the opportunity. Look for the problems you can solve. Look for the life events. Divorce, foreclosure, inheritance, relocation, any other type of distress that you can think of. Look for those types of problems, and that's where your opportunity is going to present itself. That's exactly where the discounts are hiding. And the great thing about all of this is once you own the land, or at least control the land, it's much easier for you to get the financing to build on top of the land, because your land now acts as your down payment for any type of structure that you want to build on that property. So control the land first, then worry about the structure if you want to go that route, if you want to build something on top of the land. Lately, we've been talking about farming. Maybe you want to do development, whatever the case may be.
When you buy land, you got to make sure it doesn't have no restrictions, though, man. You can't just buy shit and do whatever you want with it, man. You can't just buy real estate and do what you want with it. You got to get it approved and all type of shit, man.
Control the land first, and then the cash will present itself, because banks will be more than likely to fund you once you own the land. That acts as your skin in the game, and they'll be more than eager to give you the money, because at the end of the day, once you put a structure on top of that property, it's drastically going to increase the value of the property, and they're hoping that you don't keep up with those payments. But obviously, you want to be responsible.
Oh, they would have no problem if the last time that property sold was for $1 million and you got it for $250,000. Oh, they will have no problem financing you in building up, you know what I'm saying, a house or two and whatever, and renting it and making money off. They ain't got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes sense to do it.
So you can keep your wealth. So basically, your land is your leverage, so that you can do whatever you want on top of the land once you own it. So most of the time, celebrities, they flex cars and jewelry and things like that. In this case, Boosie is flexing acres. To me, that's the real flex. That's the difference between the rich and the wealthy. Assets appreciate, non-assets depreciate. This is general thinking. Imagine 10 years from now,
liabilities depreciate.
40 acres paid off, mansion done, and the land producing income and appreciating at the same time. That's how you beat inflation and create family freedom. And if you want to model this play, start with these 3 simple steps. Pick a market 1 to 2 hours outside of a growing city where land is cheap. Number 2, look for distress, divorce, estate sales, foreclosures, auctions, owners behind on taxes, whatever the case may be. Look for a problem that you can solve. And number 3, negotiate creatively. Offer terms instead of cash. You can literally structure seller finance deals with just a few $100s out of pocket, and then turn it into cash flow through leases, RV spots, or even partnerships. Boosie's 40-acre deal is proof that opportunities show up when others are emotional. Whether it's a divorce, a foreclosure, or even fear of the market, stay ready. That's how you build wealth quietly while other people scroll past it. And if you found value in this video, be sure to like this video.
I'm pretty sure that was about his property that he's currently working on or has been working on, where he's got multiple houses on it. I'm pretty sure that's what that clip was referring to. I'm not 100% sure on it though, but in that case, I can see the property, 40 acres, and you built 10 houses on it. You know what I'm saying? It can be getting up to a high number like that. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have an investment in it as well. To get to that $50 million mark on that property, it's probably gonna take you 10 million in cash in investments. Maybe even 15. Who knows, bro? I just don't see $2 million, $3 million turning into 50 million because you built 22,000 square foot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially not one structure. Now, if it's multiple houses, this, that, and the third, it's a little bit different, you know. Um, but the numbers just scream red flag to me, man. But you can most definitely find deals out there like that, you know what I'm saying, and capitalize off of it, you know. It's all a number game at the end of the day, man. Run the numbers, man. You could tell before you buy a property if it's gonna be profitable or not. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta run the numbers, do your due diligence. Yeah, let me know what y'all think though, man. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP the 9.